Internet, I'm Hugo.
And I shot first.
And this is Unpopular Culture. Today we're talking about some interesting news out of Star Wars and Disney. Oh, God. So, once Disney announced they were buying Star Wars and they were going to turn it into another cinematic universe a la the Avengers, everyone kind of said, okay, this could either be really good or really bad, but either way, we knew we were going to get some bad stuff coming out of it. No one bats 1,000. But then we heard about the Han Solo movie. Out of all the places they could go in this brand new universe and new characters they could create, they decided to go for, of course, a fan favorite. If you're like Jake or I, you were worried by this move. Were you worried, Jake? Yeah, Jake was worried.
I remain worried.
You should, because the directors Lord and Miller, known for 21 and 22 Jump Street, as well as the Lego Movie and some other stuff, very talented guys. They have been, I guess they left production, which is polite Hollywood way of saying they were fired from their director roles on Han Solo, with only, I think, about 3 or 4 weeks left of shooting. And then, of course, there were like 5 weeks scheduled for potential reshoots. So we're at the end of principal photography, and the directors have left the production. This was already a iffy movie, whether it would work or not. I'm not feeling super confident.
Yeah, that's not the best news, especially because take the latest Fantastic Four, for instance. I can't remember the director's names, doesn't matter. Going in, if you watch that movie, you can feel the disjointed, like, tone.
Yeah, he did those, that Chronicle movie. He did basically smaller independent films, and then he got snapped up by that big studio.
And you can kind of see the tone he was going for in Fantastic Four was a little bit darker, almost like, it had almost like a Kubrick The Fly feel. I know Kubrick didn't do The Fly, I'm saying, you know, Mel, calm down, keyboards. It was almost like Cronenberg sort of thing, yeah. And then it stopped being that, and you can tell exactly when, you know, which scenes weren't directed by the guy with the original vision, and that would be worrying, but this isn't really an artsy sort of endeavor, necessarily. This is more of a fun thing. So, Ron Howard, of Happy Days fame, he's done nothing else since Happy Days. He's filling in for the directorship. He seems pretty excited about it. He's a very competent filmmaker, very, very good, technically sound, always does really pretty shots. But I gotta imagine the tone's gonna change for those, especially if they do reshoots. So, I mean, you're looking at like 3 roughly months of Ron Howard in this movie. So if he doesn't keep it tonally consistent, it might feel pretty disjointed, and we might get like the Suicide Squad of Star Wars movies, and that's worrying.
If they fuck up the second spin-off, everyone's gonna get soured on Star Wars real quick. I thought it would take at least 5 years. Like, everyone knows we're gonna start hating Star Wars eventually now, right? Like, it's ceaseless. We're gonna hate it. I thought it would take at least 5 years. But anyway.
I think we're gonna hate the spin-offs. I don't think we're ever gonna hate the core movies.
I probably will. I probably will eventually. Everyone turns into an angry old man about things eventually.
Well, okay, well, I don't think this. How about this? This current trilogy seems fine right now.
Sure.
The next time they do a trilogy, but I mean, for instance, DC recently made up for their faux pas. Wonder Woman was a pretty good movie, so maybe we can stumble a few times. Star Wars, but the prequels did not help, though, because we demand excellence now because the prequels still count.
Well, I'm confused what Disney was thinking, because from what press releases and different reporting has said, it had to do with tonal inconsistencies. Basically, Disney saw the film one way, and Lord and Miller saw it another way. Based on their track record, it's pretty fair to guess that they were going for a more comedic slant, because they are comedy writers and directors. It's what they do. They were probably doing sort of a swashbuckling adventure film with young Han Solo with some comedy elements.
Which sounds fun as fuck.
For the record, I still think this movie is stupid and shouldn't get made. I don't care about young Han Solo. I don't want to see young Han Solo. But if you're going to do it, light action swashbuckling is probably how it should be done. But Disney is apparently stepping in and saying no to them. Now I'm wondering, is this because they didn't want it to be as comedic, or is it they didn't like the style of comedy? Because I could understand if they're going for like a 21 Jump Street style comedy, of course that wouldn't work in the Star Wars universe. but Disney would have to have signed off on the script in the first place, so...
Right. I was thinking more like a Pirates of the Caribbean, but Han Solo, right? Like you know how it's like, it's very swashbuckly and there's definite comedy, but they tone it down a little bit sometimes, and they're like, oh my god, Elizabeth Swann, and she's like, I'm Keira Knightley. And then you're like, wow, what a tour de force.
My worry, and I'm almost certain this is why, is because Lord and Miller, being the age they are, probably, enjoyed Star Wars at a younger age, probably respect it, being filmmakers for what it is, and they recognize that in the original trilogy, Han Solo, at least in that original movie, and this takes place before the original movie, not a great guy. He's a pretty big asshole. It's pretty clear he's okay with murdering people, and smuggling, and fucking people over for money. I would guess they're probably directing it as it should be, a prequel with comedy elements, but Han Solo's kind of a dick. And Disney's saying, psst, hey, that's one of our main characters. Could you, maybe make him less of a dick? And they're going, no, because Han Solo's a dick. What do you want us to make him Space Jack Sparrow? And then Disney probably went, yeah, could you do exactly that, actually? Can you just make him, non-threatening, funny space pirate guy? And they went, no, fuck you.
Han Solo is a criminal. He changes, by the end of the trilogy.
Arc. He has an arc in the original trilogy.
Right, that's the point. So if you're making a prequel, he cannot be the guy that you love when he dies in the most recent regular Star Wars film. You can't, he's not that. He's got to be the guy from before. He's got to be basically Star-Lord levels of, he just fucks around and he's a criminal and he kills people. Who cares? Doesn't take it too seriously.
Even more so than Star-Lord.
Yeah, definitely more. I'm just saying, at least Star-Lord.
Yeah, I don't know what the... Again, I don't know. Maybe I'm completely off base, but if I had to make a best guess based on the track records of Disney and these two, I'm guessing that's what's going on, but who knows. Ron Howard, by the way, I really can't comment because it's the safest choice Disney could have possibly made. Ron Howard, like Jake said, he's made excellent movies. I think everyone agrees Apollo 13 is pretty fucking great. A Beautiful Mind, I think, gets real up its own ass and is a little too schmaltzy, but I can watch that movie. It's good. His recent ones, though... Well, no, it is, though. It's a weird,
No, I agree. I just love the terminology. It's very red letter media of you.
For those of you who haven't seen A Beautiful Mind, should I spoiler warning a movie that's 20 years old? Okay. No. A Beautiful Mind.
Consider that your anti-spoiler warning.
With Russell Crowe is about a guy who's a genius. It's based on a real guy. He was a code breaker, I believe. It was probably during World War II. I don't remember. It's been a while since I've seen it. Thinks he is working with the government, but then he also thinks he's working on this super secret project for the government, and they embed a tracking thing in his arm, but it turns out he's just schizophrenic. He's crazy. A lot of the people in the movie turn out to be not real people. Right. They're figments of his imagination.
It is a good film, but I agree with you.
They almost romanticize this guy's mental illness. It's so weird.
Yeah.
Look at how, it's in the title, A Beautiful Mind. It's he's so troubled, but look at the things he's done. He can make patterns in the stars.
You guys remember K-Pax? It's like better K-Pax.
So, but his last couple movies Ron Howard's made, I think, are Inferno, which was the third Dan Brown movie, which didn't do very well, and I heard wasn't very good. They also changed the end of the book, which I heard pissed people off. And then... Heart of the Sea, which was the gritty, realistic reimagining of Moby Dick, because Moby Dick was so...
not gritty. There's a really fantastic passage in Moby Dick where they just talk about digging through whale sperm.
So yeah, I don't know. I was already going into Han Solo not assuming it was going to be good. I thought, it's not Harrison Ford. I just think this is a story that doesn't need to be told. Han Solo's story's been told. I think it's probably going to suck, but I don't know. Disney's pulled some interesting saves before, so maybe they can do it. I don't know.
I'll watch it, but I have no expectations for this. If it's a 6 or better, I'm all right, that's okay. So we'll see what happens. I think Boba Fett's going to be in it too, which fucking just stop it. Just stop it. He shouldn't be.
if it's a 6 out of 10 or whatever, it's a 6 out of 10. I'm not grading this shit on a curve. It is what it is. If it's a shitty movie, it's a shitty movie. I don't care what franchise it's a part of. So.
Well, that's what I mean. But I mean, like, I can deal with a 6. I can't deal with a 3.
Oh, okay. Gotcha.
Yeah.
All right. Anyway, I think that's it. So, hope everyone out there. What do you guys think, by the way? Do you think the movie has any hope? What kind of, if there is a Han Solo movie that you would want to see, what would it be? Because I'm curious in the comments. Because I don't even know. I don't want a Han Solo individual movie unless it was old Harrison Ford and old Chewbacca doing one last, like, smuggling mission. And it was, you know.
I'd love to see before this, in the 20 years or whatever that passed. The movie I want to see, by the way, is Kenobi. So, an Ewan McGregor movie where it's like an anthology about his life in exile and stuff. That'd be fun. Yeah. But anyways, I'm Hugo.
No, you're not.
I want to be, though.
I don't.